Hello, folks. Welcome to Takes Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development for today's entertainment purposes only. The investment I'm going to talk about today would be 30 First, I want to say happy Thursday, everybody. Hope a great week so far, and also a great day so far. Respect to my third video as of posting as of 4:40 p.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum could trade $4,110, up about 3.27% so far. As you can see clearly, entire market, including the equity market, has been experiencing the Santa Claus rally today, right? With Ethereum testing the $4,158 mark, which is the technical next consolidated substantive level, right? And also with Bitcoin surging above at the 50,000 mark at the moment. So we'll dive into the technicals to see how's the momentum trending, what are the next substantive level or consolidation zone that we need to look out for. And are we gonna be in for a further green Christmas, or are we gonna see some sort of a reverse affectation, knowing the fact that this Christmas lies specifically on a weekend, on Saturday, right? And typically, historically, right, just based on a collective observation, right, contingent on if it's like a positive news or some sort of like anticipatory pressure, or because of some specific, macro catalyst that's driving that specific day to go up. Normally I would say, Saturdays are typically, more of a down day, right? I know in previous weeks, I would just say top of the last 2 weeks so far, I believe last weekend was not that, how would you say, bearish, let's just put it that way, because of just the consecutive days of selling pressure. So the weekend was more just, firstly with, minimal media affectation driving any more stir or fear, knowing the fact that we've been just selling off relatively severely already. So just more of like a normalized type of, cadence that we experienced last Saturday. So knowing the fact that, this week has been a relatively volatile one, but it seems like we are collectively ending on a relatively good notes. So it would not be that not logical, right? It's actually quite sensical if you think about maybe this Christmas day, investors might take some profit here and there. So we'll see how the cards will shake out, because that will give us a good indicator in terms of the whales activity, but also give us a high level, I guess, perspective as to seeing how many long-term investors are in the ratio in comparisons to the short-term investors, right? Knowing the fact that with such volatility, it just kind of been like we're shaking off the weak ones, the weak links, I guess. The strong ones holds and stays on, right? And now we are seeing some buying pressure from people obviously investing because of the sector rotations from the corporate investors, but obviously retail investors chasing in as well, right? And on the media front, just take a look at it on a high level to see anything jumps off the page beside what we have already collectively talked about today. I would say not really. I would say, most of the news that I'm seeing so far is again more just regurgitation news. The most active news that I've seen, is with respect to more commercialization news around the NFT, right? With respect to Bazinga about 3 hours ago, talk about Bored Ape NFT, and the Bored Ape is called 7402. It's sold for exactly 88 Ethereum. And it's like a monkey, like a regular monkey without any, like, I guess, makeup or any color or color dye, I guess. And he's wearing this like a Google hat. The Google hats has like the rainbow color, and also has like the rainbow wheel on top. So 88 Ethereum that was sold earlier today. Interesting. So let's just dive right into the technicals and not read into these, I guess, not substantive news. These are more trivial, just like good to read, but not really substantive. Let's just look into the forecast and what's ahead of us going forward, right? So it seems like the wedge is still, or the flag that you see, right? Like, you can see that I drew a triangle for us. And you could see that this is clearly a bull flag that's being displayed in front of us right now. At the same time, we are forming a golden cross, right? We're still at the neutral level. Let's see how like, I don't know why it's lagging, but I believe we are, if I'm not mistaken, I know we're somewhere around like in the mid 40s right now. So we're still at the neutral level despite surging 3.21% at the moment. And you could see that we try to get to the 4,150 earlier today. We got canceled out. That's why some people actually immediately sold down. But it seems like the buying pressure is still sustaining, right? So tomorrow or the subsequent days, we might see more zigzags, right? Just keep squeezing, and it's eventually will hit to the point where it's squeezing so tight, and we're seeing some signs of it already, right? In the previous days, right? Just kind of going up and down in between the 3,850 to the highs of 3,000, the 4,100, right? But we never got to the 4,150. So we might just keep squeezing. It's gonna get tighter and tighter and tighter. Eventually hit that apex, which is right here again, right end of this year, sometimes around December 30th. I don't know how, logical this is. But again, this is what the chart is saying to us. We could technically get like a black swan news that comes in and completely destroy the chart, right? But right now, if you talk about like just a normal market occurrence, based on just purely technicals, right? Again, crypto is one of those like weird animals that media affectation can really, drive some outliers into the chart, right? That's the reason why you see some volatility. But Ethereum, because of the fact that there is enough, pool of investors, and the, quantitatively, in terms of the investors pool, is sizable enough to drive an actual market dynamics without a lot of weighted average cost of average. I don't know. It's like a very financial technical term. But what I'm trying to say is that, the whales are in power, obviously, but in terms of the diversification of the power, because there are a lot more quantitative investors, there are a lot more players in this pool of investors, it's the risk is a lot more mitigated, which subsequently drives less volatility in comparison to coins that are a little bit more nascent, right? Let's just say like with respect to some of the other ones that we see here, like AVAX, like Terra, or coins that are even more nascent than the ones that we're talking about with respect to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even Dogecoin or Solana, right? Those coins will be a little even more volatile, right? And it's because there are not many investors in play, but rather than just one or two big whales really jumping off and pumping or dumping the market, right? So something to think about. So right now, I think the wedge is still in formation. I think we are still, in a bullish setup. So I actually feel relatively optimistic about the way we're trending right now. With respect to Bitcoin, at the moment we're still surging. You can see clearly we are sustaining above the 50K, and this is a critical level because of the fact that 50K is a level that, first is a monumental flat number, and secondly the level that we need to get into as a next level of surge. Right now we are levitating, but the real level is technically somewhere around like the 150, so 50,150, which we're above it right now. So we need to get above to the next level of resistance, technically around like the 52 500. So we technically have like about $1,000, $2,000 left for us to run up, and I think that's likely. It's not like a huge in a percentage perspective. Obviously, in the dollar amount, it seems like a lot, but it's not a lot really. And I think we actually have a real shot of getting it if we are seeing more bullishness happening tomorrow. So today's a green day, right? And as the international side of the house start to wake up, and right now it's still, early morning for them, where most of the people are still asleep. So as we see the international side of the house, come in, are they going to be buying the dip, or are they thinking about selling? So we have to also understand their dynamics, right? But remember, the sector rotation doesn't just occur in the U.S., right? So I do believe that if the international side of the house also supports the momentum that we're seeing in the U.S., we are going to be in for more buying pressure until Christmas and possibly even post Christmas. And right now we have broken a major resistance level, and we are forming a new support right now. So something that's interesting to see, that it seems like the technical is checking out, right? It seems like we've been relatively consistent collectively with our collective insights together. So I am optimistic. I think we are actually going to see more buying pressure. Respect to Dogecoin is currently up about 5% right now. Again, anywhere from the current level to the 15 cents would be still a better level. But again, right, if you were asking me like, is this a good time to buy now? I mean, we've been talking about this for the last 3-4 days so far. So it's up to you really. But if you believe in a long term for Dogecoin, it's always good to buy, right? Just think about in a long term fundamental perspective. But obviously, if you listened or we've been looking into the technicals closely, we know that the levels we're in before, if you look back into my videos, which is dated and timed, you realize that we've been talking about this many times. So hopefully you guys capture and took the logical move from there, right? Cardano is currently up about 10%. We are above the 146, right? We're at the 146.50 right now, so 147 technically. We're very overhyped, and you can see that the reversal is really, really real. We're at the 53 out of 70. And the next level is going to be a break reach, right? We need to go up to 173 for us to feel comfortable. So we're going to see some blockade at the 155. So that could technically be the next resistance level, but not a substantive one. The real level is at 173, so something to look out for. Solana is at 190, up close to about 5% so far. Again, right, the dip was basically at the 155, 133 to 113 from here, so something to think about. I probably will not be chasing right now because we're at the more of the upper echelon of the neutral level. So the risk is not the best, not the worst, but it's okay. But I would probably just hold off because I typically buy at a discount, not at a neutral level, right? XRP is at the $1 mark right now. It seems like we're staying there, but you can see how fast we ran up there. Crypto is one of those animals that runs up really hot, especially on the altcoins side of the house, right? So right now is either we go up to 110 or stay here or go back down to 93, right? We could see that we do have a gap, so we fill that gap. So this is relatively good, right? But again, right, 78 or below would be the level that I would technically incur risk, and that the level we were given for a while. And with respect to polkadot, you can see clearly we're surging right now up about 4.02%. We're at the 50 out of 70 right now. So again, right, the better dip was basically anywhere close to when we were at below somewhere around 25 to 23, right? That was like days ago. So I probably wait off right now. I think the reversal is real, but right now with the neutral level, so this is not the best level again, right? You oftentimes want to be buying when it's at a discounted level, but it seems like right now it's not the most opportune time, especially with this buying pressure that we're seeing right now. So something to think about. Ultimately, if you want to buy now, right, it's really up to your risk aversion. If you hold it for a long term, it's fine. But just know that we had much better opportunity days ago, right? So ALGORAND's up about 6%. Anywhere from 135 to below to 125 is still better. We are in a golden cross area, so with the 47 out of 70. So it's not terrible, not the best again, right? But ultimately, if you buy in for a long term, these are levels that are still fair because of how much we have sold down so far, right? And with respect to Shiba Inu, you can see clearly we are up about 6.38% right now, at the 3,724. But again, right, a better level that we were at before was days ago when we were panicking and being scared all over the place and with a lot of negative media affectation. So anywhere from like 2,900 below to 900 were the frame that we would ideally need to buy at. But right now the neutral level, right? But ultimately we have sold down for a relatively long time now. So do you believe in this long term? Do you think this is the right value that you want to be incurring risk at? What's your thought process behind investing in this? If all of those checks out for you, and you still feel comfortable risking your money into this, then I think it's fair for you to hold it long term. But for me, I'll just stay away probably because it's not at the best level incurring risk at right now. MagTech is currently close to all-time high, just at the up about 6.6%. We're at the 67 out of 70, so still surging really high. We're like in a rocket ship up in the air space right now. I'll probably just stay away. Again, 175 to 143 was still a better level for us, right? AVAX currently up about 5% right now at the 60 out of 70. Seems like we're lagging. We try to get up to the 150 or above, but it seems like the golden cross was formed recently. That it's been a while, right? Not like as recent as MagTag, but the inertia is not going to sustain us for any longer. So I don't think the current level is sustainable. We are hovering because we have some consolidation levels here before. But if we break those consolidation level, we get weakness, which I believe we will be. We'll come back down to basically 81, right? And 81 came in a while back, right? We were there literally like a couple days ago, right? So that was the level that we should technically incur risk at. And now we're being rewarded greatly if you were thinking logically at the time, right? Luna or Terra. Right now, it's try to regain momentum to try to go up to break 100 again with the 72 out of 70. So this is extreme high risk. I would say this is the high risk out of all of the other ones. So I'd probably stay away, really, to be honest with you. This is chasing for the wrong reason. And when the risk is high, the price is demanding a high number as well. Definitely not worth in terms of risk versus reward ratio, right? And with respect to risk management level, these are levels that I identify here for you. Let me know if you have any questions. And I made some revisions here and there. I'll probably make further revisions and just to be more precise, as we are seeing some shift in the market dynamics right now. But let me know how it goes. Hope you guys have the great rest of the Thursday. I look forward to seeing you guys on Christmas Eve tomorrow. Take care.